pretty close, and especially this time of year when the mustard is in bloom, it's pretty spectacular. And I marvel that we've been here 12 years now, 10 years in this tasting room, and I'm here every day and I never get tired of the view. Well, Donna and I, my wife, who is also my business partner, and I are from the East Coast. We're Massachusetts natives, and we own a home in Vermont. And that home was named Winderlea by the people who owned it for 60 years before us. It's a word they made up, combining wind and lea, meaning a meadow or pasture. So it's like wind in the meadow. And so when you look out today, it seems like an apt name for this place. Yeah, great question. So my wife and I met in the early 80s. We were working together, and we fell in with a small group of people who were developing an interest in wine, and that became a bit of an obsession over the next 20 years or so. And we eventually reached a point where we thought we'd like to do something together. We were working in the corporate world, and when we thought about what that would be, we thought, if we're going to kind of throw it all in and do something different, we might as well do something we're passionate about. And the thing that we were most passionate about was wine. So we decided we would try that. Our favorite grape is Pinot Noir, and our favorite American Pinot Noirs were made in Oregon. So once we decided on winemaking, we just made a direct path here. It has a bit of a fantasy world aspect to it, the wine industry, so I think that's fair. So Donna and I both worked in financial services, and she did marketing and product development, and I was general manager of a service organization. We were pretty geeky consumers of wine, and we had a number of, Boston has a number of good wine shops, and we would pepper the owners and salespeople of those shops with questions about the wine. And we eventually got to the point where most of our travel was to wine regions, and we would pepper the vineyard managers and winemakers with questions. And so by the time we decided to make wine for a living, we had a pretty good idea of where we'd like to be. And we knew we loved Oregon, and we knew our favorite wines within Oregon came from the Dundee Hills. Well, we searched for probably close to a year and a half before we found this property. And, we believe that there's a lot of serendipity in life, and there's a much longer story that goes along with this. But we eventually met the gentleman who was farming this property. And I had told him the story about property we had probably missed out on because we thought, oh, well, next time we come, we'll take a look at it. And so I told him that we should have just gotten on a plane. And so I got a call from him at one point, and he said, hey, Bill, I think I found your vineyard. You need to get on a plane.
Oh, nice.
And so 3 days later, we were here. And we were staying up at the Black Walnut Inn right up the road, and he wouldn't tell us the name of the vineyard before we came out here. And so I started, doing some deductive reasoning. And when he picked us up, he said, do you know what vineyard it is? And I said, I think it's Goldschmidt. And he said, it's Goldschmidt. Even more so that this was our favorite vineyard in Oregon.
Wow.
And our second favorite is our Tree Summit Sarkis vineyard, which is right below us here on the hill.
That's kind of a dream, isn't it?
Really is. A lot of serendipity in life.
Yeah.
Even though it's an everyday beverage, at least it is for us, it has kind of a celebratory aspect to it, and I think, it does help us to think about where we are or if we're drinking a wine from another region, where that wine came from and an experience we might have there. And so I think that all feeds into being, really thoughtful about, what you have and what's good about your life. Yeah, I think I knew when I signed up for the first course of the UC Davis online winemaking program that I probably had taken a step over a ledge at that point, and it definitely was. I think that gave us the idea that we could actually do this, So we did. There's a great vineyard management and winemaking program out here at Chemeketa Community College, which is close by, and I was able to take that program as well. And so that, along with having a lot of neighbors who were really helpful and are willing to answer questions, it was a good transition. I've had people come over and pull me out of the vineyard when I was stuck. I've had, people help us with equipment when something had broken down. I would never hesitate to ask anyone in this industry for help, and I would never hesitate to give one of my neighbors help on a vineyard or winemaking matter either.